What I would have done different with DBZEN, because one of the core problems is they're not attracting participation at higher levels, right? They could. But what I would have done different was I would have made every lobby a separate economic event. And what do I mean by that? That means that every day, only the divs from that day would get paid out in a ratio to who entered. Cryptoslo with more crypto gains. What's going on, guys? Nice little dump on everything. What I tell you, I warned you. Don't try to trade Zen. Mint. All right, today we're talking about DXN. I know I previously did a video on is it too late to get into DBZEN? And my conclusion with that is that it would take a very large amount of monetary energy just for it to be meaningful in any way, if you didn't get in the beginning. So I'm going to talk about that today. So combing through, looking at things, I was like, okay, AVAX really hasn't jumped off yet, has a good multiplier on Zen. So I think it has potential to run. Now, let me first say, I've been in hundreds of DeFi projects. I've seen tokenomics, all kinds of tokenomics, zero-sum tokenomics, matrix tokenomics. I've seen it all. Now, this is the problem with DBZEN, is that the people that got in early have a exponential advantage over you on divs every day, okay? So you want to attract people to the project, and you're like, you know, the people are like, oh yeah, you get divs every day. Well, I seeded my avalanche. I got in a little late. I seeded my avalanche with about a 4 or 5K budget, that's still a lot of money because I didn't have any ladders set up. I have ladders on AVAX now, so that's a moot point. So I got in, I started getting coins. I got my first divs and I was like, are you serious? Like, no divs. It was like, I burned 1 billion Zen and I got like 0.03 or something. So first of all, go in smaller over a longer period of time. You honestly do better going in every day budgeting. But here, whatever, that's not really the point. The point is the first mover advantage and how they design the protocol. What I would have done different with DBZEN, because one of the core problems is they're not attracting participation at higher levels, right? They could. But what I would have done different was I would have made every lobby a separate economic event. And what do I mean by that? That means that every day, only the divs from that day would get paid out in a ratio to who entered, not your total staked divs, okay? So basically, the fact that you get paid on your total DXN, it really dissuades new money from coming in, okay? Because you just run out of dry powder, and then by then the whales are already recycling their divs to power more lobbies. So then it's just a self-fulfilling prophecy. And then basically the people that get in late have to have a massive amount of economic energy to even get anywhere close. So with that being said, like, I have like 3,000 or 4,000 DXN, and my divs, like I said, they're just, it's like a couple bucks. It's like nothing. Just because the whales that got in have so much DXN, and that lobby pays on total staked, when the lobby should have paid divs on separate, on the separate day. And I think that's a big problem. That's one problem. Number two, a lot of these other chains, it really doesn't start because the liquidity pools are so small, you can't have any price action, okay? So if I was a whale on an alt chain and I wanted to see participation start to moon, I would probably either A, sell a big chunk of my DXN, or B, I would recycle some of my profits back into liquidity to get the market started. When you have a 10K liquidity pool, it's nearly impossible to extract any coins out of it without massive price movement, or just even getting a substantial amount of coins in your hands. So if I was a whale, that's what I would do to supercharge some of these alt chains. But yeah, the total DXN staked, I honestly think someone could build a better DXN just by changing that one metric. Now, how would I do it specifically? I would probably give 90% of the divs just on the participants in that lobby for that day. And then I would have a 10% bonus that would get paid out on your total number staked. So basically you still reward the whales or the long-term thinkers for having their coins staked and not selling. But in order to attract new economic activity, you have to pay those lobbies individually and not on the total staked. Otherwise, you're not going to attract new money. Now, do I think that there won't be new money? No, because I think a lot of people put ladders in place. And then, if you're paying the DXN fee and paying for the Zen, you're just getting completely wrecked. It's like a black hole of money, and then you're chasing ROI. And the only way that you'll hit ROI is for the DXN to appreciate, and then that you can dump some of it to get your money back, right? So that's kind of the conundrum with it. But man, I do believe a better DXN could be built, a fork of it, and pay those lobbies individually, and then have the whale override, maybe at like 10% of the divs would get distributed. So that's my thoughts on it. I'm already in, and I have ladders, so I'll continue, burning, but a lot of it is basically free money. So, from the ladders, because AVAX is so cheap. But just getting started out, man, I'm telling you, expect to put a sizable amount of money and economic energy in it for very low returns in the beginning. Once the DXN breaks out, you're gonna have to go through a couple waves up and down, but then you'll get some price action. So that's my thoughts on DXN, because I know if you look at the participation numbers, they're very low. On most chains, it's below 100 that are actively burning every day. And they really, in order for that project, if you got anywhere near the adoption of the minters of Zen on DXN, oh my goodness, Zen would moon off the charts. So, these first few dApps and DeFi, everyone's DXN crazy, and I'm just like, the tokenomics are very simple, and I do believe it's a good first project. I do believe that some more interesting projects will continue to evolve as with anything, as people are in ecosystems, the tokenomics need to get more sophisticated as it goes. So with that being said, like, subscribe, and as always, this is Cryptoslo. If you're not talking gains, then we're not talking. Oh, if you haven't already seen it, the Centurion t-shirt is live in the Cryptoslo streetwear store. Pick one of those up. It's a nice tri-blend. I only do the tri-blends, none of that SpongeBob boxy t-shirts. I hate those things. These things will make you look buff.